Just state your name and what it is that you're studying at MISS, what your degree program is.
My name is Ben King. I was an IPSS student focusing on conflict resolution.
Okay.
I was working for the Red Cross in Geneva, the ICRC. I was working in the legal division of the Mines Arm Unit. It's called MENA. And there I was focused on armed violence prevention within the organization itself, and then also worked on a lot of the small arms issues and different UN programs there, like the CCW, and a little bit on the biological weapons and landmines issues.
And what was...
I was with the Institute for Security Studies in Pretoria, South Africa. It's a human security think tank organization that focuses mainly on human security issues in the entirety of Africa. My position there was with the Arms Management Program, which essentially looks at arms control debates throughout Africa and globally.
And tell us a little bit about what your job was, some of the things that you worked on. What was, I know there's no such thing as a typical day, but if there was, what would you be doing?
My role at ISS, I had a number of different roles, which were kind of rotating and changing throughout my entire...
Medicine students who are sitting in the front row here, and I'd like to welcome you to tonight's event, which is in honor of the performance of these students at a number of international organizations across the world. And we are here tonight to
thank Jean and all of the folks in IPSS for even including me in the event. It has really come to mark a end of one cycle and the beginning of another one to me. 4 years ago, and I don't know whether Ed remembers this, but I had just started as the Dean of the Graduate School of International Policy Studies, and
his fiancée to move to Geneva, to join him there, and in a recent email to me, when I asked him how things are, he said, I don't think it would be an exaggeration to say that IPSS has been a life-altering experience. That is just an example of the dedication, I think, of the students, and you'll soon hear about, from all of them, similar experiences in their work over there.
Well, hear a little bit about each person's experience, a very different experience. And start with Lori on that.
At the International Fund for Agricultural Development in Rome. I was an intern for the Latin American and Caribbean Division. And during my time there, I was able to work on several projects. And
I'm Green Thompson. I spent 6 months at Pacific Forum's CSIS in Honolulu. Pacific Forum's mandate is to help stimulate cooperative policy in the Asia-Pacific region through research and analysis with the region's leaders. I was able to participate in a diverse amount of work while I was at Pacific Forum, contributing lots to the different publications.
In Geneva, for a branch called the Mines Arm Unit. It's in the legal division of the ICRC. Really fascinating place. So for me, the past 6 months were really a way to kind of test some of the knowledge that I learned here, really to see what I learned and where some of the gaps were, and then also to see where some of the things that maybe I thought I already knew were.
In Pretoria, South Africa, in their arms management program. In my defense, I thought, although Ben's text message was very undiplomatic, it was completely neutral, because it basically said everybody was worthless. But within my work at the Arms Management Program at the Institute for Security Studies, I worked on projects mostly focusing on the proliferation and misuse of small arms and light weapons in Africa.
My name is Jonas. Warren. I was at the Small Arms Survey in Geneva from IPSS assignment, and I have to say that really this my participation in IPSS was very much last minute. I was unaware that I was eligible to apply and be part of it, and so my assignment was very much based on where I wanted to go. I didn't really have time to consider what the available organizations were that we had offered yearly every semester. So it was very much rushed, but I'm extremely a lot has come out of it for me, and I really personally, the Yahoo account, 5,000 new messages in it, and filed.
Hi, I'm Stella Sharon. My assignment with IPSS was with the Refugee Children's Unit at UNHCR headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. While I was with the Refugee Children's Unit, I worked on the summary update of Michelle.
My name is Monica Shevchik, and I also worked with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, but I was in the regional office in Pretoria, South Africa. And the regional office in South Africa is actually in charge of the country operations, 8 country operations that focus on refugee issues. Professionally and academically, my background is in issues that concern women and children. So it was a great honor to work with the senior regional advisor for refugee women and children in Southern Africa.
Share a little bit about my background first. I first knew that I wanted to work on migration issues when I volunteered at a refugee organization in Portland, Oregon, while I was in college. And I had the chance to meet a lot of really interesting refugees. But there was one woman who really stuck out in my mind, and she was 80-some years old and was just incredible. She had spent so much of her life moving from one refugee camp to another, and before finally settling in Portland. And
good evening. My name is Anna Langenbach. I serve with the Weapons of Mass Destruction branch of the United Nations Department of Disarmament Affairs in New York. I'd like to share 2 experiences with you. One is a highlight, the other one is perhaps a less positive aspect of my experience, but both very much illustrate what we as IPSS students were able to do on assignment.
Hello, my name is Maggie Busaria, and I went to the United Nations Department for Disarmament Affairs, Secretariat Branch of a Conference on Disarmament in Geneva. We basically provided substantive and procedural support to 3 conferences: the Conference on Disarmament, the Certain Conventional Weapons Convention, and
for Giroux, and I worked in UN New York along with Anna. I worked with the Al-Qaeda Taliban Sanctions Committee, and that committee lies within the Security Council subsidiary organs branch, and within that branch lie all the sanctions committees. And currently there are 10. And these sanctions committees against countries, and with the Al-Qaeda Taliban Sanctions Committee, it's against individuals and groups who have been identified as linked to Al-Qaeda or the Taliban organization.
Tough spot. As I introduced myself before, my name is Ryan Keenan. Is this working? I worked at the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, and what my work was specifically there was Article 10, Assistance and Protection. And what Article 10's job basically is to do is, one unique aspect of the Chemical Weapons Convention is it's called a positive security assurance.